you'll probably realize that the softest spoken person on our staff is about to present now in his report. And I want to thank him before he even begins, or he could start walking up, Pastor Lamar Bailey. While I went on sabbatical, I had some freedom to determine who I wanted to be the interim bishop while I was gone. It could have been a retired bishop, it could have been another bishop from another part of the country. But I needed to know, given the experiences that I had been living through and given the grief and situations that we have been going through as a denomination, I needed to know that I could trust whoever I left in my stead. The trust that I have for Pastor Lamar is incomparable. Not only are you a fine human being, you're a great friend. And so I thank you for being the interim and for sticking around after being the interim bishop. Please continue to pray for him. And again, even if you hear that he's soft-spoken, don't let that deceive you.
Thank you, Bishop, and thank you, my friend. Well, it's a privilege to work with the various ministries of the Synod. It's an unexpected joy every time I sit down with some of the tables and teams and committee and see what the Spirit does in those spaces. As you know, it has not been an easy season to do ministry in the past couple of years, right? But the work of God cannot be held back. Amen. And we are blessed to participate in it. And so I'm thankful for the work that I do with the tables and teams that I work with. I'm thankful for the new and renewing mission table. This is a group of dedicated pastors. We're small at the moment, but we are dedicated. And we work to support new ministries and current congregations that are trying to find new ways to revitalize their ministries. And so as we come to the end of a new year, we have many accomplishments and changes to share with you. But first, I would like to thank my friend, Pastor Shannon Anderson, for her dedicated service as both chair and member of the new and renewing mission team. Last year, she stepped down to pursue another ministry opportunity within our Synod. I just really appreciate her working with me for the first year to help orient me, and I just appreciate all the work that she does and her friendship. But after much prayer and discernment, the bishop and I invited Pastor Kirsten Tanis from Good Samaritan Lutheran Church in Lexington Park, Maryland, to serve as the chair. She agreed. Could you please raise your hand? Thank you. And she has been a lot of fun to work with. She has a lot of gifts and skills and experiences. I'm looking forward to the work that we will do together. This year, we also had the opportunity to work alongside Pastor David Shank to help support congregations with post-secondary grants for congregations to offer ministry opportunities to students in their context. And we believe that this is going to be a valuable ministry opportunity to foster in the coming years. And right now, we're actually preparing to have conversations with some of our full communion partners to deepen that vital work in our Synod. So look for more of that to come. The table also supported cohort 2 of the Holy Listening Project, which included 7 congregations, and it walked these congregations through a process centered on discernment, mission, and implementation. And despite some of the Synod staff changes, we were able to complete that second cohort successfully, and it was a great joy to be with that as well. As a table, the New and Renewing Mission table provides grants to help support the well-being and spiritual growth of our leaders. So our Sabbath grant program that we implemented last year was a great success. We had over 40 rostered leaders participate in that. And we are excited to offer that much needed grant again this year, and already people are taking advantage of it. And all of our leaders need a rest. And we heard that this morning. Thank you so much. But in a short time, if you didn't come to our session today, you will hear news of partnership grants. Now, our communication person said that's a terrible name. So she's going to have a really cool name by next week. But the goal of these partnership grants is to support congregations to come together for common mission in their context. So we are inviting congregations to dream, pray, act, and discuss ways that they can partner with other congregations in their context so that others may know the good news of Jesus Christ. So this is an opportunity to experiment, to explore with like-minded partners. Now, for some of you, that might be scary, but it's a lot of fun. Come talk to me about it and talk to our chair about it, talk to our table about it. The things that come out of partnerships are incredible. You never know what's going to happen. So, to learn more about these grants, make sure you are signed up for our Synod's weekly newsletter. This is why my communication persons loves me. How many of you are signed up for the Synod communications newsletter? Okay, great. How many of you open it up? Yeah, okay. How many of you scroll down to the end? How many of you read it? Okay. I'm not going to say any more. I think you get the point. But for those of you who are not signed up, go to our website, go to the bottom of the page, and you can fill out your contact information and get the Synod news, okay? So there's no more excuses about what's going on. You can all do it. And I know you're all going to do it right after this. Lastly, the New and New Mission table, we granted and funded a wide range of ministries. We including grants to support congregations' efforts to be more inclusive of folks with disabilities, building repairs, grants to help with the impact of COVID, funds for campus ministry at University of Maryland, Latin A ministries, technology grants, outreach grants, continued support of King of Kings Dulles South, and much, much more. Too much to list. And the bishop and I, we always constantly remind people that this is not the Synod's money. This money comes from the people in the pews. That money comes from you, and we are called to steward that money faithfully and wisely. And so this is not the ministry of me. It's not the ministry of the DEM. It's not the ministry of the Synod staff or the bishop. It's the ministry work of the Synod. This work cannot be done without you. So thank you so much for your generosity. The racial equity team I also get to work with is chaired by Reverend Karen Brow and Franklin Morales. Could you all raise your hands? Thank you. This team has been working hard to promote racial equity and justice in our Synod and beyond. And one of the key initiatives this year has been the Sacred Ground Training, which is a film and reading-based dialogue series on race grounded in faith. And we are happy to report that the early findings from the Synod's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion audit found that this training is having a positive impact in our Synod. So we will continue to offer this training throughout the year, and we are going to expand it. And so we encourage everyone, like I did last year, you got to sign up for Sacred Ground. You have to do it. I'm not going to make people raise hands on that one. Or should I? No. So this team is also planning to offer some educational books for congregations in our Synod. We're looking at more ideas how to support congregations to have dialogues around this topic, and how the team can support the results of the racial equity audit. And this team is becoming more and more concerned about the rise of Christian nationalism that is expanding in our nation. And so this team is exploring what steps we can take to educate our Synod about this. So look for more offerings on that in the coming year. Another important project, I want to mention this, is the Racial Equity Commemorations Calendar. That is also on our website. This commemoration calendar is a resource that was developed by the team to honor the beautiful, yet at times painful history that we share as a church and a nation. And in fact, if you look at the commemorations calendar for this upcoming week, we remember the death of Chief Massasoit, the Zoot Suit riots, and President Eisenhower's implementation of the largest mass deportation in American history. So we invite you to explore this list and to find it on our website and to meet and learn about the amazing people in our nation and in our churches and that have been with us all along the way and inspired us. So if you have a passion for racial equity, we need you. The church needs you. The world needs you. My kids, my young ones need you to be active in this. So please speak with me or a member of the racial equity team so that you can join us. Stewardship and mission support table. A few months ago, another transition, we lost our amazing chair, Pastor Darcy Tillman, who took a call in Buffalo, New York. We also lost a longtime member of that table, Yvonne Limbo, who decided to pursue another career opportunity. And so we thank them for their dedicated service to that table. This table is always engaged in holy discernment, visioning, planning, and aligning with the Synod's priorities. So last September, the team was invited to share its work, the work that it has done, at the Stewardship Kaleidoscope event in Georgia. And that was a wonderful accomplishment for us. So Pastor Darcy Tillman, myself, and Yvonne Limbo, we represented our Synod and our table at this national conference. This year, we also surveyed the congregations in our Synod to help us better gain an understanding of what your needs are and how we can focus our efforts around your needs more effectively. And we're probably going to be doing more and more of that over the coming year. We also launched 2 cohorts of cultivating the art of the ask. And this was facilitated by Bonnie Marden of Might Ministries. This training helped our lay and rostered leaders increase their confidence to boldly ask for financial gifts for the sake of ministry. The outcome was a blessing and helped people connect more deeply with their faith and generosity. And so we're thinking about expanding another cohort coming in the fall. Advent was also an incredible joy for this table. Our Advent initiative was celebrating God's gifts, and it had a huge impact. The table compiled short stories from individuals in our Synod into an Advent devotional that we shared throughout the Synod. And it was encouraging to see how many people participated in that. Our gratitude film series was a 6-week online series that invited participants to explore the subversive practice of giving thanks. And we did this through film discussion and meaningful application. So you didn't just watch the film and that was it. We asked you to do something. And I've been talking about this for weeks. I like to bring it up every time I can, right? It was the most highly attended event of our Synod in many, many years. So that was amazing. And finally, we completed a storytelling video that highlights the work of our Synod and celebrates the joys of generosity. And that's a short video series that you can play in your congregation to help them draw a stronger connection to the Synod. That video was a result of the interviews that we did with folks in the Synod. They said that we needed this, and so we wanted to provide that. And so I cannot give enough thanks to the members of this table. This table is creative, fun, we laugh, we joke. It's a joy. And so if you want to be a part of that table, let me know, find me. I'm really, like I said, it's been a tough year. Lots of transitions, but I'm really proud of the work that we did and the spiritual growth that we have seen. And so I thank all of our table members for their work and their dedication and their ongoing mission, their ongoing commitment to the mission of the Synod. And I look forward to the Spirit's movement